Well, good afternoon to all the people in the Netherlands, and welcome to the presentation of the market study, Opportunities in the Mining Sector in Argentina. My name is Bastiaan Zwikker. I'm Chief Representative of NBSO Córdoba, and I'm happy to be your host today. Well, in this study, we focused on areas where Dutch companies can help the mining industry to grow and also to get more sustainable. It's good to see you all connected. I see we have a lot of people calling in from the Netherlands, but also people here from Argentina, from Chile. I see Colombia, USA, and Brazil. So, well, thanks again for joining.
Bastiaan, your mic, you have to turn on the mic again. Sorry.
Sorry. What did you hear? Where did I stay? Okay. So today's agenda. First, we'll have a short intro on the why, the how, and the who of this study. Then we'll give the word to the author of this report, Gabriel Paganini. Then we'll have an opportunity to interact as well in the section of the questions and answers. And finally, I will close up, comment on the follow-ups as well. And I think we can close within the hour. Okay, before we begin, I would like to introduce the team that has commissioned this market study. And therefore, I would like to give the word to my colleague at the embassy, Deputy Ambassador, and also Head of the Economic Department, Bernd Scholtz. Hi, Bernd.
Hi, hello everybody. Good morning. Goedemiddag. Buen día. Yo soy Bernd. También. Qué placer verte. Nice to see you all here. I'm here in Buenos Aires, as you might have guessed or already know, in summer, in springtime, which is beautiful, but not so much for me because I have horrible hay fever. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm very happy to see all of you here and to be able to have a discussion with you afterwards, and not only in this meeting, but also after, because we are the hands and the ears and the eyes of the Netherlands, together with our colleagues in Córdoba, the NBSO, obviously, for people like you, to pave the way to business leads, because that is in the end what we hope to achieve with this study and with the follow-up of the study, obviously, because we see that there will be, might be, or can be, or are opportunities in the mining sector, not only in Argentina, but also in Chile, because as you know, Argentina is on the Andes mountains for, well, at least a huge part of the country, sharing it with Chile. But Bastiaan will certainly go into that, and maybe Gabriel as well, because I'm not gonna talk too much. I just wanted to welcome you and to tell you that we are here to pave the way to business leads, and I'm looking forward to Gabriel's presentation. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Thanks, Bastiaan.
Thanks very much, Bernd. So indeed, why this study? As you can see on the image on the right, Argentina is located in the southern cone of South America, and South America is known for its richness in resources. And indeed, on one hand, we have the mining country Chile. On the other side, we also have Brazil. But Argentina itself has quite a short history in mining itself. But nonetheless, it's one of the fastest growing industries in Argentina. And that's mainly in copper and lithium. That's because of the demand for the global energy transition. Well, the Netherlands is not really known as a mining country, but we did find out that there are a lot of Dutch companies involved in the mining sector, mainly as service providers with technology solutions, engineering. And we also learned that there are quite a few of these companies already active, for example, in neighboring countries like Chile and Brazil. However, there was very few information available about the industry of mining itself in Argentina, and therefore we decided to do a full market study. We selected a mining expert, and we started the study in July this year. And now we're happy to, the study has been finalized, and we are happy to present it today with Gabriel. And the study itself will be available on the RVO website. We will send the link afterwards. But now let's go to the presentation, and therefore I'm very pleased to introduce to you Gabriel Paganini, who's the author of this report. Well, Gabriel has an experience of over 30 years in mining. He is mining engineer. He has he's been active in a lot of mining operations high up in the Andes in the south of Argentina, but also in Chile, Bolivia, and Peru. Gabriel also holds a business degree, and at this moment he's also active as auditor and consultant. And importantly to say, he's one of the few qualified persons in Argentina who is authorized to sign off the reserves of international companies for the financial statements. And finally, he is also a university professor teaching new students about the mining sector. Well, Gabriel, the floor is yours.
Okay, Bastiaan, thank you for your words. Thank you for joining. I'm happy to present the report today we have been working on for the last month. The information used in the report is obtained from public sources of the national and federal government and the official company page. Next, please, Bastiaan. Well, I'm a mining engineer and my heart for mining. Next, please, Bastiaan, sorry. Well, let's investigate the history of mining. In the 1919, the laws were introduced to stimulate the mining sector in that moment. And the first mining opportunities appeared there, and there were opened the first main mines in Argentina, in Catamarca, in Santa Cruz, and in San Juan. Next, please. Well, if we look at the mining potential in Argentina, it is important to mention that we share the border along the Andes Mountains with Chile. Therefore, we expect to have equal or even greater resources. Just 25% of the mining territory in Argentina has been explored. Today, exports are gold and silver. However, in Argentina, expect to grow in copper and lithium production, because now the main mines are in the south of Argentina for gold and silver. Next, Bastiaan, please. Well, as you can see, there are many international mining companies active in Argentina. The Canadian companies like Barrick were the first to start up activities in Argentina. Later, companies from the other mining countries followed. If we look at the lithium sector, most investment are from Chinese companies, as Ganfeng and Hana Group, for example. Next, Bastiaan, please. Well, if we look forward, Argentina expects to triple its mining export to reach over $10 billion in 2030. The export of lithium and copper required by the global energy transition. The expected foreign direct investment is of $20 billion next year. Well, if we look into how these investments are distributed, we see that more than 80% of this investment is for lithium and copper projects. Next, Bastiaan, please. If we look at the legal framework, it is important to note that Argentina is a federal republic. It means that the owner of the resources are the provinces. They are the owner of the resources in Argentina. Please, next one, Bastiaan. Therefore, it's provincial laws that regulate the mining activities, and each province has its own regulation. It is very important to keep in mind. Sorry? Bastiaan? We are out the presentation. Yes?
Yes,
Antonio?
I'm here and just fixing it. One moment. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Well, as I said before, the owner of the resources, the mining resources are the provinces from the Constitution, the last Constitution. Well, COFEMIN is a federal mining council that coordinates the mining policies between the old province, because the law is for each province, and then it's necessary to coordinate all the opinions inside one idea. Next, please, Bastiaan. We have identified 4 pro-mining provinces: Jujuy, Salta, Catamarca, and San Juan. The main priorities for these mining provinces are buy local, the development of the employment, and the care of the environment. That's very, very important, because it's the focus of the next business. Well, in this picture, this slide, it's possible to see, I would like to explain you about the lithium mining using this picture. The lithium resources are located in the Salt Lake on remote places in the high plains of the Andean mountains at altitude over 3,000 meters above sea level, isolated and in an arid condition, as it is possible to see here. On the other hand, it's important to keep in mind that the distance between the provincial capital and the Salt Flat is not great in a direct line. However, it can take more than 8 hours to reach the site. Traveling over rough roads is not easy to reach the site. It's important to keep in mind, because the infrastructure and the business opportunity could be there. Next, please, Bastiaan. Well, about lithium process, the most important thing to know about the lithium production is the lithium in Argentina that coming from the salt flat is obtaining from the brine of the salt, the salads. To extract the lithium, it is necessary to use an evaporation process. It is necessary to make a hole, to pump the brine, and to send the brine for evaporation process. This evaporation process could be a natural evaporation using the sun and the wind, or by industrial processing, which is faster but more capital and energy intensive. Further detail can be found in the report that we present today. Next, Bastiaan, please. The most copper mines are in the Andes mountain, close to the borderline in Chile, at a high altitude and remote and arid zone. Little infrastructure, as I said, and difficult climate condition. Really, it's very important because, as I say, it's an opportunity for the Dutch companies to help the mining companies in Argentina. Next, please. Sorry, let me tell you something about the processes. The copper processes of extracting the copper in that process require an intensive use of water and energy. Both resources are limited, available in these zones, because these zones are very dry and very arid, and there is a strong competence between the mining companies for these resources there. Sorry, Bastiaan, next, please. Well, this is the mining project in Argentina in the mining-friendly provinces. This is an overview of the most relevant copper and lithium project. In the report, you will find a detailed description of each of these projects, highlighting the project phase, investment details, research, geography, and environmental, and most important issue, social impact and initiative. That's very, very important for the province. They are looking for companies with this point of view. Okay, next, let's explain. Well, this is an overview of the project. As the map indicates, there are no lithium or copper mines in full production right now, because there are two in expansion. Most is in construction and testing phase. Other projects are in a final feasibility or previous stage. In lithium, there are two companies currently producing, but are in expansion. The double, they are to try to trade the double of brine. The most important future investment in lithium are Olaroz, Mariana, Sal de Oro, Centenario Ratones, Sal de Vida, Tres Quebradas, and in copper is Jose Maria, which is under construction in San Juan province. Next, Bastiaan, please. Well, toward sustainability. Well, as most mining projects are starting up now, these projects are also subject to the latest environmental and social regulation. This is an important point to keep in mind, because the province wants to be leading the mining industry using these both tools, the impact in the communities and the care of environmental issues there. This is very important to make a business in the province, in the mining province. Well, Bastiaan, next please. Well, business opportunities that we discover in the moment, looking for lithium and copper mainly, is regarded business opportunity for Dutch companies. Some topic of interest for mining companies and provinces, as I said, has been selected. The administration of the water resource use and treatment. This is very, very important. Next one is bring energy to the mining site, because not infrastructure. It is necessary to be creative to send or to reach the energy there. Renewables or the use or the efficiency, that is very important for the mining company because energy is so expensive and necessary. It's not possible to open a mine without energy. Next is environmental care. Every action, every work, every thing that happens in the site need an environmental study. That is very, very important because it's necessary to present and require the approbation from the provinces to do the job in the site. Engineering solution for the processes and care that we mentioned it about in terms of environmental, energy, and water, because these resources are not easy to reach in the remote zones because it's arid, because it's so long to the main cities, and next is because the public opinion is very strong. It's very heavy to manage for the government. Yeah, that is very, very important. Well, next question, please. Well, what about the opportunities for Dutch companies in terms of investment? How is the possibility or to join with the mining companies? The estimated investment for lithium in the coming years is more or less 6,473 million in the provinces of Catamarca, Salta, and Jujuy. Lithium are there in this province, in the salar, as I explained before. And there are 14 copper deposits that could operate in Argentina in the next 5 and 10 years, generating more than 332 billion US dollars. The main copper projects are in San Juan province. There are another province with the opportunity, but they are not able for mining business. That join to the borderline, but they are not. They don't want to make this business there. Next, Bastiaan, please. Well, an overview, conclusion, and recommendation for the Dutch companies are, well, in the current situation of the mining sector in Argentina, it might be the perfect timing for introducing new know-how and technology. creating a window of opportunity to introduce new solutions. That is very important. Our research showed that the managing of water, energy, and the environment in general are the issues that concern the mining project today. That companies can help mining companies to solve this point. This is the best time to enter this business, to introduce the new knowledge and technology. It's a great opportunity to introduce a new solution, because these main 3 points are very important. It's a headache for the mining companies, and now it is possible to help them with this point: water, energy, and environmental care. The reception could be very. Okay, Bastiaan, next, please. Okay.
Okay, Gabriel, thanks very much for your presentation. And before you move on to the part where all the participants can ask further questions, I would like to highlight that together with the embassy in Buenos Aires and our office in Córdoba, we are the local support for the Dutch companies. So first, we invite you to read the full report. It's really, it's got a lot of information. And then if you want to learn more and take further steps, we can help you with providing more tailor-made information. For example, market information, info on import and export, regulations, but also information about competitors, possible clients, and possible partners. We also have a broad network, and we can help you to find and introduce you to the right contacts. And we provide local support. So if you come to Argentina, we can help you with your agenda, setting up meetings, if required, accompanying in a visit. And also, we recommend you to participate in an important expo, which is next year. Antonio, who is my colleague, he will mention a little bit on that as well. Hi, Antonio, are you there?
Yes, Bastiaan, hi, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, thanks for joining. I see a lot of familiar names, and well, some new as well. So this slide is a little summary about the services we can provide for you. And well, as Bastiaan mentioned, there is a very important exhibition next year that is Minera. It's taking place in Buenos Aires. I have had some conversations with some companies that are present here at the webinar that are already participating. So if you're interested as well, just let me know. Perhaps we can get together and well, make like a joint visit. So well, happy to help you, and thanks again for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Antonio. Now we'll go to the questions and answers, but I also wanted to say that we have...
I was reading the chat, Bastiaan. I was reading the chat. There is a question here.
Yeah.
Guido Villamil. What would be the recommendation for introducing new technologies to these companies already operating? Do companies decide on purchase and project from Argentina, or do they from their headquarters? Well, very good question, Guido, really. As a miner, I said you that I prefer to receive the first brochure or the offer, or to join with me in the site, because it is possible to make some question for the offer or the supplier and to show the problem there. Sometimes some company decide to make the other way, you know, to contact the headquarters, and the headquarters, without people with enough skills in terms of mining issues, because these people is financial or legal or another things, and they send the people to the site. At the end of the day, I recommended to contact the people in the site and to try to solve the problem there, to see how our services or product or whatever can work there, and then to go to the headquarters or not, because the decision makers sometimes are in the site. It's okay, Guido? Specific question: what is the average age of the technical decision maker in the mining sector in Argentina? Oof. The average age. Well, depends on the offer. Sometimes it's young people. Sometimes it's the old one. But the main problem, or that the situation that happened, the older people, it's working as a mine manager, or it's in a high level, and the people have enough knowledge about the job, but they are working in other issues in terms of administration or making another issue. If you ask me, I think they are 40, 30, 40, more or less is the average age of this.
I see we have that Guido has raised his hand. Guido?
Right, thank you for the opportunity. I will first say hi to everybody. Okay, yes, my question is a little bit, because in each country there is a different set of organization for the mine companies, and it depends on the legislation of each country, no? For example, in Ecuador and in Chile, they are forced by law to take decisions locally, because they have to work, mining companies have to work like a national entity, no? And sometimes in different countries, for example, I have seen that in Brazil, I have seen that in Ecuador, in Panama, I have seen in other countries in Latin America, all the big decisions are taken in the headquarters. But when you, I fully agree with you, with you know, the people who knows what the problem is and who know what the solutions could be applicable to, or the people in the mine site. But normally, and it's happened very often in Chile, an example, you know, to enter to talk with the project manager, operational manager, is a shoot door. No, it's quite difficult to enter. Yeah. Maybe you can ease a little bit the situation with events as Arminera. We are intended to participate this year. But for example, what my question was more focused on what your recommendation are. You, for example, knock the door at the headquarters in Buenos Aires or in Salta or in San Juan, or maybe there is a channel. For example, there is another, you mentioned Cofemin, in an example, in some, for example, yeah. I don't know, they are like Inhomin in Chile, that they can present new technologies to the companies.
Well, there are, you know, there are some lot of places that it's possible to show your services or your product. One important thing that we were discussing with Bastiaan is the idea of the office is to help the Dutch company to reach this opportunity, to be sure that you'll travel to the mine and you'll be received from the main or the decision maker. That is very important. For the reason I'm joined with the office too, to make easy this way, one of them. Second one is a lot of chambers, services chambers or suppliers chambers in each province. This is another opportunity to join the chamber and to show you the product or services and to make some dealing with them or to join them to introduce in each province. This is another opportunity. There is a national chamber, supplier chamber, and another in each province, friendly mining province. Yeah? And another opportunity is, to join the mining chamber in Buenos Aires, but it's not the best option, but it's another possibility. And I think the best one is to use the services of the Dutch office in Argentina for business and the supplier chambers in each province. This is, I think, is the best way to reach them. Because, if you have experience when you coming from the headquarters, the people could be receiving you, but with not the best way, not too open, because they consider that it's coming from this headquarters is because somebody there said, okay, go and see the mine or something like this,
Yeah, from what Gabriel also mentioned, that indeed it's very important to be at the operations with the engineers who are executing and not just saying, okay, we have great solutions, but well, asking and sit next to them at the desk, shoulder to shoulder, and see what problems they have and how you could help them to solve these problems. And it's also important to see like a first step to have like a local partner, because one of the priorities for the local provincial mining laws is also to promote buy local. This means that local companies have certain priorities, and there are a lot of mining companies, local mining companies, that have already a long experience in the sector. They already provide solutions, and well, the solutions of a Dutch company could add very much value to the portfolio. So that could also be a first step to approach. Yeah.
Okay. Bastiaan, Franz,
yeah.
Franz Janssen.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, please drive in that as you want.
I think he was about to tell me about the questions in the chat, Gabriel. So feel free to read them and reply as you like.
Okay. There is a question here from Franz Janssen from the Dutch Embassy in Chile. And I agree with Franz. The mining business is very conservative here too, but here we have, right now, there is a competence between the companies for the resources. in the Cordillera. For example, for water. There are, I mentioned 14 copper projects. It's not possible to open all the 14 copper projects all together because there is enough water in the Cordillera for all these projects. For the reason, I consider is the best time to join with the mining company offering a very clever idea for the water solution there, and energy and another issue. I agree that are very conservative, but I think they are open because next question show, for example, for renewable energy. The company never think in these terms the last year, but right now they are thinking for renewable energies to set in close to the mines and to get this energy. For example, I was working in a project in the north of the country, Salta province, in the top of the mountain, and they are thinking to mill, for example, half of the day using renewable energy from the sun. And in the night, they'll be using another energy for the process, for example. The main consume of energy is for milling the rock. For this reason, they are thinking to use renewable energy in this time, for example, in the day. And in the night, to continue the process with another kind of energy. As here, the Zwikker value, I'm representing a company that is developing a clean and sustainable battery technology. Do you think provincial law will steer toward using such technology, and do you think it is viable to install, for example, a large solar farm close to the mining location? Yeah, to deliver the required energy for mine, which such battery can complement the currently available. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as I say you, there is I have one. I'm still working in a project with this necessity. And it is important that you mention here that it's possible to join or to receive, the support from the provinces. That is another possibility. We talking with Guido, for example, it's possible to make some presentation for the province, the authority, the mining authority in the province, to show our services or our devices really is very clean. It could be helping the companies to use less water or to become more efficient the energy, the site or something like that. It is possible to run this way. For example, using this provincial authority. I agree. Let me see next. Sorry, I don't know if I answer the question. Please tell me if it is enough or not. Yeah. Some problems
Gabriel,
around energy.
Sorry, Gabriel.
Sí.
One more thing to add to the question also of France and Chile. And mining companies being conservative, I think it's also the phase. Like in Chile, a lot of mining companies are already in an advanced stage with and even extending, and they have all their processes defined. But in Argentina, most projects are in the construction phase, and they're still developing technologies, developing processes. So I think this is the window of opportunity to present and to sit next to the service providers, sit next to the mining companies. And also there's a lot of variety. Maybe Gabriel can explain about the salt lakes and how each salt lake, well, is different and needs different technologies and a different approach.
Yeah, and this business in mining is quite new, because not lithium before. There's only one mine from 1997, but it's a new project. It is possible to introduce a new technology or to think about in these terms, for example. Let me see, next is some problems around energy and water resource management seems quite challenging. Is there any preference for national or international knowledge? No, not really. But if you are thinking, Hilton, if you are thinking instead of to join or to deal with a national partner, it could be better. Why? Because as I explained in the presentation, every province wants to increase the employment there. For the reason they try to set the companies in each province. If you want to deliver your services in all the provinces, you'll be choosing one province to establish your office. No? And if you try to work in Salta, when you come to Catamarca, they'll be asking for your office in Catamarca all the time. And it is possible to solve that getting one national partner for the product to transform the rough way in a soft, sometimes. Gabriel, thank you for your presentation. We, our consultant, have been studying the environmental impact of mining waste material and special failure of mining tailing dam in Brazil. We studied the environmental impact of water. Can you elaborate on how this is affecting, for example, navigation in company? Yes, yes. Well, how to reflect the example permit of well, the laws of the provinces about the environmental issues are very hard. For example, if you want to make some job, make some task in the site, it is necessary to receive the approbation from the authority, the provincial authority. For example, for geophysics, which is sometimes nothing, to drive your light truck with some devices, getting information from sending some waves or something like this, the impact is a little bit. Even that is necessary to receive the permit, to go to the site and to do the job. For this reason, it's very important to be very clever how will be showing the product or the services to become more free or of high impact in the site. Very good answer so far. Thank you a lot. How is the inflow for capital fund arranged in Argentina? Sorry. How is the inflow for capital? Well, the structure of the mining companies that coming from, I don't know, Canada, mainly Canada. We're talking about Canada because Chinese is another way. In Canada, it is possible to introduce in the mining business using the stock market. But in the last time, I received some contact with some companies that want to, in the project that are in the feasibility stage or something like this, they want to share or they want to take the smelting net royalty or something like this. They are trying to be a part, sharing this smelting net royalty, getting a little bit of this to join or to introduce the fund in the company. But in the beginning, the loan happens basically across the stock market, in Canada or in USA or Germany or wherever. I don't know if I answer this question. Please, Eddie, tell me if you need more information. Very interested, have to go, looking forward to the report. Okay, thank you for the answer. I have to leave the meeting. Okay, Leon, I don't know if there's another question. Bastiaan, I don't know if you want to talk.
Yeah, maybe. I already got this question. You said, well, lithium and copper are different activities. One is the salt lakes, the other is processing rocks, and on different places. Do you recommend the Dutch companies to focus on either lithium or copper, or do you think that there's also synergy and provide solutions to both?
Well, in a big picture, the care of environmental or the one clever solution for energy or for water resources is quite similar for both. But when you begin the study of the special processes and mining ways are different, quite different for both. One is brine and the other one is rock. That is a big difference. But there are, for example, the last week I received some contact for one person that is involved in environmental care in one lithium project in the north of the country. And the lady said me how it could be solved, solve the problem of waste, that is in the process of lithium, because the waste there is a brine with a high concentration of magnesium, calcium, boron, and other minerals. And I say, this is not a waste, this is a resource, because it is possible to extract calcium, magnesium, boron, and to sell that. But there is not company working on that today, for the reason they consider that waste. And this is quite different of copper. Copper could be generated a high pile for heap leaching or a high waste dump for, flotation. And that is not a waste. It's considered a waste dump, but it's not a waste, because a little bit of copper happens there and could be the next resources. For example, if the copper price increase, that could be a source of copper. That is a conception, this is a point of view. For the reason, for example, in mining, there is not waste. This could be an opportunity in the future when somebody create a new method to extract copper or to extract magnesium or boron from the brines. It could be an opportunity, you know. For the reason, in the big picture, it is the same, but when you start studying the processes are quite different for both. Even that is quite different for every project. It's not the same for one salar that the other one, because the concentration is not the same, because the relationship between magnesium, copper, lithium, magnesium, boron, lithium, calcium is not the same. The relationship of the grade or whatever. It is necessary to apply an special processes for each deposit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Gabriel.
We have another question, Bastiaan, sorry, in the chat, two actually. One from Yorick, it says, for a battery at a mining site in Argentina, could it be more important to be environmentally friendly in production and end of life, or is there more focus on reliability and capacity?
For all of them, I said, you know, it's not possible to establish what is more important, because instead of the market, instead of the necessity of the company is reliability and capacity, but instead of the necessity of the mining companies, the provinces is environmentally friendly. I think it is possible to reach both. It is possible to work very hard to cover both. Yeah.
And then there is a comment from Angelo, which says, this is very true, Gabriel. It is like brine associated with geothermal or hydrocarbon production that can also be used for lithium extraction.
Yeah.
I see now that Adele is raising his hand. So Adele, if you have a question, please.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for the invite. Good to see you again. I have two quick questions, basically. The first is, out of the list of projects that you showed, Gabriel, my understanding is that all of them are under design and construction, right? None of them are producing yet. Am I correct?
There are two in production.
Okay.
But now is extending the, is trying to produce the double of the production. Okay, now they are in construction, you know, but they are producing and in construction the second part.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's basically to confirm that any type of solution that we can provide at this stage is feasible for all of them. My next question is related to regulations, and I think I asked you about this before. How is the country doing for this type of contracts with currency issues? You know, I understand that inflation is an issue, and also how is the country allowing to sign contracts in you know, foreign currencies, or you have to sign contracts in Argentinian pesos?
Yes and no. You know, no, because now the government is trying to keep, you know, the dollars, because it's a headache for them, because we have a very weak condition right now. But it is possible to send that money using another channel outside. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Okay, but of course we could get support and guidance from you, basically, from
yeah,
to design a contract that would allow us to do that, right?
Yeah, because there are a lot of companies working in that way. The main problem here is we have several exchange for US dollar, because one of them, the real is 300. That is possible to get in the unofficial market, but in the official market, the value is 150 or 160. And how many US dollar it is possible to get there is nothing, because this is not the price. This is
and also for mining, and also for the mining industry, there are some special regulations. But I would also like to mention that we're now reaching the hour. So we're going to close this this part of the presentation, but next week, well, we have several opportunities also to meet with our team and with Gabriel to have further specific questions. First, we will send this presentation and the link to access the market study by mail. Then you can have some time to read, and then we can have a follow-up meeting with you and with other Dutch companies to ask, well, more specific questions about the sectors and the solutions that you are offering, and then we can also help with the follow-ups. So thanks again. It was really a pleasure, and well, I hope to see you also in the follow-up meetings.
Bastiaan?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let me, there is a question from Arnold Palve. It's very interesting because it's a self-cleaning evaporator which helps clients to achieve constant evaporation capacity. Well, this is very important. It is possible. There is an opportunity for a couple of companies that decide to industrial evaporation for the price. For example, Eramet and another one that I don't remember right now. But yes, Amo, if you can send me your brochure or something like this, we could